Welcome to Reading and Writing Between the Lines, a podcast series about communication skills in the workplace. I'm your host, John Witzman. Join me as I speak with industry professionals and Conestoga faculty and alumni to explore their journeys with reading and writing skills. Follow us as we talk about how communications learning has changed over the years, how these skills are used in a wide range of industries, and the future of workplace communications. How do you juggle the use of generative AI in your communications with your desire to engage people in a way that is authentically your own voice?
It's such an exciting time to be playing in this field. When I think back to those engineering days, I loved computer programming because it was a different form of very deterministic kind of communication. You didn't write things in right, wouldn't get the output you wanted on the other end. You know, what's fascinating about AI today is it's a little bit fuzzier. There's a little bit more of a black box. It's a little bit more kind of magical in that you can't control a large language model, kind of the fundamentals behind the ChatGPT with that same kind of precision or outcome. And yet, in its essence, ultimately, what it is kind of the accumulation of all sorts of written and other kind of communication distilled into essentially a prediction machine. And so as much as we think of AI as magic, it is kind of creating an output based on, millions of other sentences it's seen, right? And so it is really just kind of relying on what we have kind of created in the past to kind of figure out what to do next. And what's neat about this is I'm building technology with my team today that can talk to you on the phone. It can even use my voice, but I'm not there, right? And so in order to kind of tee it up effectively, we have to be really effective at communicating with it about the way that we want it to drive that conversation when we're not there. And that's kind of uncovered this whole new kind of career path, something called prompt engineering, which is the art ultimately of really figuring out how to deliver a communication or an instruction super efficiently and effectively to an AI for it to kind of go and do its task. And that's fundamentally done through written communication in a very kind of interesting, specific manner. And so if I think about everything I've learned through life to be really good at writing, I can't imagine a scenario where that has been more important than kind of the technology that we're building today. So it's a really exciting time for people at Conestoga who are in kind of engineering to also recognize that that communication class that maybe you have to take or you didn't really think was important is, I would say, just as critical as kind of the programming that you're doing, because today that is the programming language.
And that marks the end of another episode of Reading and Writing Between the Lines, a podcast hosted by me, John Witzman, on behalf of the Communications Department and School of Interdisciplinary Studies at Conestoga College. You can find other episodes of this series on our YouTube channel, Reading and Writing Between the Lines. Stay tuned for more episodes. Thanks for listening.